All right, we are live again. Hello again, everybody. Hello, teachers. Hello, great people of the world. This is Gabriel again with Online Digital Education Group, Facebook community of teachers that collaborate with each other, that help each other share experiences so that everybody can succeed, Not everybody has the answer to just one problem, so everybody shares information for that purpose. So today is Saturday, and it is June 19th, and this is episode 140. What teachers can expect from a life coaching session. Now, you know how it is when you want to go to the doctor, or you have to go to the doctor, and we cringe. We're like, oh no, I don't want to go to the doctor. The guy pokes and probes, and then he's going to prescribe me some meds, and I might get hooked on them. I might not like them. They might do me bad. We go through a whole bunch of scenarios that drives us nuts. But a life coaching session is different. It's a conversation. It's a conversation for your mind, where it's non-evasive. You actually get to have more of the talk time than your coach does. So we're going to talk about today what you can expect from a life coaching session for your success. So let me give you my full disclaimer. This is not, for those who continuously make excuses or expecting to get rich overnight. There's no get rich quick, anything here. There's no false promises. There's no false guarantees. In order to monetize and to succeed online as an educator, you got to have the right mindset. You got to get rid of all those limited beliefs you have and whatnot. And this is an opportunity to be part of a high quality community on Facebook that I'm a part of. And I'm going to be guiding you towards your mental success. So it takes work, it takes commitment, it takes dedication. So if this is not something that you're willing to put in, then this is not for you. And that's okay. And if you're looking to start and then quit in the next few weeks or months just because it takes work, then you're better off doing the same stuff you've been doing. And this is definitely not for you. Nobody's going to get mad at you. You're ready when you're ready. But remember, this pandemic has caused so much stress, so much doubt, so much low self-esteem, so much low confidence, so much fears of, so much anxiety, overwhelmed feelings, that this is a good opportunity, whether it's with me or any other life coach, to get the oil changed in your brain. It's going to do you a lot of good. So let me start you off with a quote. I really like this quote. This quote is by Rabbi Israel ben Eliezer, or known as Baal Shem Tov. And he was an 18th century Jewish philosopher. He said, "Let me fall if I must fall. The one I become will catch me." I love that. That's a great quote. And, it's all about the fear of success, right? The fear of failing. If you're not afraid to fail, kudos to you. But if you do fall, it's a learning experience, and your better self will catch you. That's the whole point. You will have such an amazing positive experience because of that mistake, error, failure, that you're going to catch yourself. And this is one of the best quotes I've come across so far this year, and I'm glad to be able to share it with you. So people have been reading a lot about the post-pandemic life, that one is going to experience after all this vaccine and being stressed out for almost 2 years now. Well, many articles, are also being written about money and how the money habits and the attitudes have changed over this zombie pandemic as well. As recently as this past week, June 2021, Charles Schwab put out the Modern Wealth Survey to ask Americans how much money they need to feel happy. Well, that's a question a lot of people ask themselves, right? And they've been asking themselves that forever. How much money do I need to feel happy? What doesn't surprise me is how the concept of wealth to keep you poor continues to invade your BS, your belief system, not the other one, not the bullshit one. All global citizens feel they need $1.1 million to feel happiness. Well, guess what? This will require a person to continue to stress out and stay in debt trying to achieve a wealth level with a BS, which requires you to work, work until you die and still not realize your magnificence. So see, this mental stress habit is formed, for this pleasure, for the sake of seeking pleasure and avoiding pain. This aspect of the mind cannot be changed. However, we can change how people perceive pleasure as internal values and pain as a loss to those values. That's when emotional habits truly begin to change, allowing us to form well-rounded outcomes in the process. The way people will accumulate wealth is by adopting a new BS, the belief system, not the other one, of personal wealth and monetizing their educational experience online. This is the 21st century. So you want to be able to jump online with the right mindset so that you can monetize and not be, one of these unwealthy individuals where you feel like I'm always stressed out about money, I'm not making my bills, this and that and the third. The way people will accumulate wealth, is adopting the mindset. So no matter what outcomes you set for your life, you're going to struggle to reach them if your brain is working against you. And, our brains work against us because they're trying to protect us. They're trying to protect what they already learned. So the way you think affects how you feel and then how you behave. And it only takes one bad mental habit to hold you back. The progressive steps are knowing what to expect from life coaching sessions. So to help people fix their mental stress problems, so they can monetize their educational experience comes with a blank slate. You want to experience positive outcomes with a life coach that asks, how can you be supported? I'm asking you, how can I support you? You start off with a blank slate and expect nothing, less than the initial non-biased blank slate. You got a blank canvas to work with now. And that's what life coaching does. The coaching starts with you, not the problem you think you have. No one knows exactly what is going on within their mind. Nobody does. So you want to be able to work with a life coach that makes no assumptions about you, no prejudgments. Your comfort of starting with a blank slate allows you to paint the bigger picture. Having a feeling of no judgments will help you settle into the session with a clear mind. And now you start to groove into it. People must understand that a life coach cannot rescue you from your thoughts. A life coach will ask you empowering questions to help you towards a new point of view. How can you be supported with the mental stresses? That's a good question to ask yourself. How can I be supported with all this mental stress that I have? What a great opportunity to speak from the heart and peel away the layers which causes you stress. Being heard will allow you to come to your own realization as to what is truly happening in your mind. A life coach is trained to listen more than to get to the core of what you're sharing. So we listen first, and then we start to work and peel those layers back so that we can expose that core problem. Having a clear agenda with people is a must to know exactly what you want and what is blocking you from getting to where you want to be. This is a huge gap in people's lives on a daily basis. Somewhere along the way, people fall into the habit of getting lost in their lives. A life coach will help you set up a clear work list for yourself. Knowing the way out of a meltdown will grant you access to that relief you desire. The personal world map that people have, will be redesigned so that you can understand where you are right now, where you want to be, and what created that gap in your life. In other words, let's find out what is getting in your way so that we can help you see the exit. We're going to clear that out so that you can go straight for the exit. During a life coaching session, you will be asked lots of clarifying questions. And that's just to lock in on that which keeps you stuck. It's a non-evasive conversation of self-honesty to empower you with a positive outcome. You have to clearly define what the problem is so that you can have that amazing experience of resolving the issue. So life coaches like myself, we will isolate the current challenge that you're feeling and then question where you want to go next. And finally, help you see the solution to close that gap. At the beginning of coaching sessions, you must keep in mind that life coaches are not responsible for solving your problems. We need to examine your thoughts about the problem. This is not a race. By rushing you into a solution, you will find it ineffective. The reason is you can't solve a problem with the same mindset that created the problem. So we got to ask you a lot of questions and examine what is really happening here. Every single problem a person has is a thought problem. Any problems people experience in life because of the thoughts they're having, those thoughts impact how you feel, which affects how you behave daily. So this is why we need to coach the person. We don't coach the problem, we coach the person. So you get to the outcome that you desire. The good news is people have the ability to train their brain for their happiness and success. Becoming aware of your bad habits is the first step in creating positive change. Letting go of your bad mental habits will jumpstart your mental strength training. You'll have a brain with muscles. Commit to building your mental muscle no matter what obstacles you face. And then you'll be prepared to reach your goals. And your goals must be monetizing your educational experience online. Because of how undervalued educators are globally and have been forever, this is the opportunity for you to monetize with the right mindset and never have to worry about abundance again. My greater purpose is helping everyday people realize their magnificence with empowerment thinking for success. Book your discovery session with me today and receive a 10-week purposeful package to empower your life with. The goal of life coaching is to give teachers a positive outcome by rebuilding their BS, their belief system, not the other one. Optimizing their confidence and monetizing their online education experience for success. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Empowerment thinking for success will help you realize your success in personal health, wealth, and make you wiser as you start to live a magnificent life of abundance. And I really mean that. A life of abundance, with health, a life of abundance with wealth, a life of abundance feeling wiser. Being able to monetize your educational experience online on Facebook specifically, and earning 4 figures and 5 figures a month, providing solutions to student clients that need your expertise, your specialty, that's amazing. But you got to have the right BS, the right belief system, not the other one. So remember, you're magnificent. I believe you're magnificent. You must believe you're magnificent. Let me know, leave comments below, or visit me right here on ODE, Online Digital Education. It's a community on Facebook of educators that collaborate and share information with each other for the purpose of succeeding. We share, we ascend. There's no competition here. And I look forward to seeing your success, and interviewing you live on my community so that we can talk about your small wins, your big wins, your positive outcomes. You can visit me on my newsfeed, leave a comment there, or send me a private message on Messenger. I always respond on a daily basis. And I actually look forward to that. 688,000 people is my personal goal for the next 5 years. I would just love it if you were one of them. So this is Gabriel signing out with Online Digital Education Community on Facebook. This is Saturday, June 19th. And this has been episode 140, titled, What Teachers Can Expect from a Life Coaching Session. You can expect a positive outcome by fixing your BS. Your belief system, not the other one. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate all the comments that I receive, and I look forward to hearing from you as well. You guys have a great day, have a great weekend, and God bless.